What up? What up? Seek and ye shall find. I got another good show for you guys. We're going to talk a little bit of numbers. So I'm just going to warm up the mic, nothing new. What's up to everybody? Crawford versus Madrimov. Regardless of what you feel about the fight, it was a tactical fight, but those numbers aren't looking so hot. Shout out to Joaquin. He says, I am here for the cookout, and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. I am going to body the Bud Buddies so oh my gosh. It- y'all gonna have to stop me because I'm about to go crazy. Now I told you there's a few things that I care about in this world. My name, my surname, my business, my brand. So when the negative Nancy's, the naysayers, when they come to my channel and they say I'm hating only to actually hate, and then they say I don't do a good job of doing my job, that's where we got a real problem. That's where we got a real, and I promise you, we doing doghouse rules, and we gonna keep going and keep going. It's up. I'm so with that because you're not finna throw dirt on my name, slander boxing ego, say I don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't know boxing, and I don't know the business, and my information is wrong. You better come with it. You better come with the facts. That's all I can say. Because if not, I'm coming back each time, resurrected. I'm coming back like Brandon Lee in The Crow. Believe that. Rest in peace to Brandon Lee. And here's one of those times. Now I know what the haters gonna say. The haters, they're gonna say, like, oh, ego, who cares? Stop pocket watching. Why are you talking about numbers? But it doesn't work like that. You can't argue and try to debate with me when I made my earlier content talking about Crawford Madrimov. The event flopped. Say I'm lying and then not expect this. Because do you believe in God? Then believe in boxing ego. Expect me. I'm coming. I'm coming back like Jesus. I promise you. Tom Tucker, what's up? So it doesn't work that way. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't tell me I'm a liar and all of my reporting was wrong and I made it up and all that type of stuff. And then when more information comes out, then you mad because Mr. I told you so is back. I'm sorry. It doesn't work like that. Shout out to Mr. P. So Kenya B, what's up? He coming back like King Tut rise from the dead. Bro, that's what I'm saying. Because you have to understand, I've been in the game for years. I ain't never lied to my audience. I do the best job. I am the best in the business, and it's not even close. I give you the real facts. I give you my opinion too, but there's a paper trail to everything that I'm saying and talking about. But the Bud Buddies, they don't want to accept the information. So I guess I got to drive the point harder and I got to bring it home and give you guys more evidence of everything that I've been saying. So when we get started, we get started. So we're just warming up the mic right now. Natty Cutie, what's up? But like I said, y'all said I was lying. Hold on. Did you hear the Bud Buddies call Boxing Ego a liar and say when I was putting out videos saying reports say it lost money, it lost over 10 million for the event. And then you guys seen they was coming for me. The Bud Buddies was like, "No, you a hater. I don't believe this report." Da 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 da. We got some new information. I'm about to body y'all too. I'm about to body y'all. Shout out to 7-6 Mark. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I fight him. Yes, definitely. That's how Earl Spence will say it. Yeah, man down. Yes, definitely. Arrow, Arrow love to say that definitely. Shout out to my guy 76 Mark. Bro, Arrow beyond that definitely. Bro, he that's really you know how like Tupac would be like Hennessy, enemies, when we ride on the enemy. Like he had those like extenuated token words that Pac would always say, right? Errol Spence, he got a couple of them. One of them is definitely, yeah, definitely. It don't matter what you ask Errol. You be like, hey, you fighting Fundora? Yeah, definitely. I definitely like to have that. Definitely. Errol, do you like biscuits and gravy? Yeah, definitely. My mama used to make definitely. Shout out to EJ. Yeah. They say, come on, Oz. They say fake it till you make it. Luckily for me, I'm from a different generation. I'm Thunny Lifton. I'm Jack Dempsey. I'm cut from their cloth. There's nobody that can match my. I'm stupendous. There's nobody that can match my intellect. I'm the most ferocious. I want his heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah. Bro, I am cut from a different cloth. I ain't never had to fake it. But there's a lot of people in boxing, they butt kissing right now. They faking it. They propping up certain things and agendas and narratives. We exposing all of that. This is my house, Kimosabi. Y'all said that Crawford was a megastar and the event succeeded, and you said that Boxing Ego was a hater. Oh my God. Y'all should have never done this. We doing doghouse rules. Believe that. Y'all should have never, you should, I told you, if I'm right, I'm right. You better just leave me alone. Don't ever come from my reporting. Oh, Ego, you lie. All right, we gonna see. We gonna see. Like Drake said, and we gonna see. Shout out to Tata Goya. $2. Appreciate you, my guy. He said, when they hate, donate. Absolutely. The 87 Barber, what's up? I see y'all. Bro, I'm about to body the Bud Buddies. Get ready for the eulogy. Y'all said my reporting was wrong and I made it up. And here, the thing, this is how dumb the Bud Buddies are. They say Boxing Ego is lying when I put out information or when I give my opinion, but I didn't even put out the information. The information came from a reporter, Kevin Ioli, but then somehow it's attributed to me. But in the video, I cite my source and I tell you where the information came from. So how's that work? Oh, look, we got a Bud Buddy. Get him out of here. He mad, or she, or whoever that is. Joko. Yeah, you a joke, yo. Yeah, get him out of here. Block them. I can feel the hate in the title. Block them. We got back to back. Hey, come on, block Joko and block Yo Harion or Marion. Touch, boom, boom, boom. Touch, doom, doom, doom. We gonna get back to back blocks. Let's get it. We don't need you. Shout to New Meaning. Bro, I told you I ain't even started. Listen, shout to 76 Mark on the block. Block the other dude, Joko. We got back-to-back blocks. Bro, notice I haven't even started I ain't even presented. That's how you know I'm the most powerful being in boxing when it comes to doing this. When it comes to reporting and stuff, I'm the most powerful. I'm the most prolific. I haven't even started talking about the subject matter, and they already melted. They already ad-libbing and stuff. I ain't even presented no case that, oh, you're wrong. How am I wrong? I ain't even said nothing. Shout out to Kamal Oz. Oh, it's going to be a ride. I'm going to take y'all on the tight one. Yeah, we on the ride. We're going to go on the ride today. I told y'all should have left me alone. Y'all didn't want to. Okay. They talking about I'm wrong. I ain't even said nothing. Okay. That's fear, people. If you weren't fearful, there would be no need to act like that. The reason they act that way is because they know what's about to happen in the next probably minute or two. Kamal Oz, He says Errol's still the ace. Hey, make him mad. Come on. Okay, so Kamal sent $10. He said Errol is still the A side over Bud Crawford. Who would have thought that being a bad faith negotiator, insulting the fans? Ooh, Kamal came with heat. We got that heat. A diva without a genuine fan base, fighting no hopers, and being delusional wouldn't work. Bro, listen, I'm gonna say it. Bud's a great fighter, the actual martial art. But I need everybody in this chat to type bad business Bud. This is not about Bud being a fighter with intelligence or ring IQ. So I'm not going to ever insult him in that way. Even what I'm saying is not an insult, it's the reality. I will not start this show until some people type bad business Bud, and then I will prove it. Y'all got to hype me up. Type bad business Bud in the comment section so we can get this show on the road. Shout out to Kamal Oz. Gang. I came up with that name, BBB, Bad Business Bud. And still, I still mean it. You guys can deflect. You guys can get mad. You guys can whatever. I'm going to state my case and I'm going to explain why it's still triple B, Bad Business Bud. So without further ado, Paul Magno just did an interview or an actual article. My bad. I don't know why I say interview. And just as I previously reported, hold on, Kamal. Don't send any more super chats after this real quick until I get through this because I have to show y'all. So Kamal, pause the super chat so I can show them this article real quick. He says Bad Business Bud is not Better Business Bureau. Hey, that's bars. Shout out to Kamal Oz for the bars. Now let's get to the cookout. So anybody, just know if you super chat while I'm going over the information, then I'll save them and go over them after I get through the information because I don't like to start and stop. So Paul Magno, boxing reporter. I think he said he's been in the industry for 30, 40 years, something like that. He got a brand new one, proving what we already knew. Okay. California State Athletic Commission, the report confirms Crawford Madrimov Riyadh season show financial break even at best. So you know what at best means? At best means they probably lost money, but being super optimistic, at best it was a break even, which I'm going to tell you it wasn't no break even. And I'll explain in this video when I dump on y'all. So let's get into some of these things. Per the commission, the paid attendance for a 21,799 seat stadium was 17.7, right? You guys see that? Meaning roughly 4,000 seats were given away by the promotion or they were just left unsold. Hold on, pump your brakes. Y'all said I was lying about Bad Business Bud in this fight. I'm a body y'all. Turkey posted to social media stating this fight was a sellout. And he said Crawford was a mega star. You not finna play like you didn't see that. Did Turkey say that this fight was a sellout? Crawford's a legend and a mega star. Is that cap or is that fact? He said Tim Bradley and others, because Tim Bradley, Boxing Ego, and others were talking about how Crawford Madrimov wasn't really selling like that. So Saudi advisor Turkey said, hey, he made a post. I have the post still. You're not going to play with me. It says, dear Tim Bradley and others, Crawford is a megastar, won't want, and the fight is sold out. Is that cap or fact? Bro, I'm about to go off. Y'all said, I don't know boxing. I don't know the business. My reporting style ain't all that. Okay. He said, dear Tim Bradley and others who are hating, telling the truth is not hating. He says, this Crawford's a megastar. I told you it was cap. And he said that the fight was sold out. These aren't my words. So now when the commission report report actually comes out, we now know that's cap. See, this is the problem. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. You can say whatever you want, but when that report comes out, it's going to show if you were keeping it real, keeping it a bean, keeping it a stack, or if you weren't. And the great thing about boxing ego is I'm always on time. Ja Rule and Ashanti. So I have all the receipts. Remember when Crawford said this fight feels bigger than Errol Spence? Then why are you have 4,000 tickets that were either given away or left unsold if the fight was somehow bigger? And when I say these things, y'all say I'm hating. So who's the hater now? Okay. So Crawford versus Madrimov, the report just showed you. Tickets were left unsold or either given away. The first mistake, like I said, there's a couple mistakes here. You put Crawford Madrimov on the West Coast. Really wasn't a West Coast fight. If you're going to do the West Coast thing, Crawford should have been on the undercard because he's not the megastar that you want him to be, right? So a couple of mistakes here. The venue was too big. You put him in a soccer stadium and he's not even that type of, he's not Canelo or Gervonta. So the venue's too big. And then on top of that, you put him in Cali where it's black and brown. Yeah, I mean, there's white people too, but coming out for boxing, it's a lot of black and brown. That's not really Crawford's market. Crawford's talking about the urban community and stuff like that. When has he ever been fighting in LA? Like Top Rank kept him in Omaha for the most part, Scotland against Ricky Burns. And then, he was fighting wherever, Vegas for the postal fight, things like that, Lincoln, Nebraska. So you just randomly took him to LA and then you think that's going to pop. I told you, branding doesn't work like that. You don't, branding is over the court. It's like branding in boxing is like having a well-behaved child. A well-behaved child, that's not something that just formulates overnight. Like if you have a well-mannered kid that gets straight A's and stuff, that's over the course of their lifetime and their upbringing and probably rewarding good behavior and less rewarding of bad behavior that you have a child who listens and is, well behaved when you go to company's house, things like that. That doesn't just happen overnight, right? So that's the same thing with building a star in boxing. Crawford made poor choices, which we've went over many times on my channel. And now they're trying to reverse years of not being branded in the proper way and not getting the fights that he wanted that would have shot him up the ladder. Like he was with Top Rank and Pacquiao was with Top Rank. They never fought. So you didn't get the fights that you needed at the time when you needed them. You didn't get Sean Porter when he was a champion. You got Sean Porter his last fight before retirement when he had started a podcast in the pandemic. Tell me what I'm saying that's wrong. Oh, wait, you can't. That's right. You can't because I'm on point and I'm the best in the business. Boxing Ego video about Turkey being bad for boxing soon. He lied about the numbers. He's beefing with the faces of boxing, being petty with Tszyu. See? Shout out to MMA Psyche. See, and this is, but wait, there's more. Come on, there's definitely more. The thing is, this is my sport. This is my house. It's like Kobe Bryant in the Staples Center, the cryptocurrency arena. I'm the Black Mamba in this boxing game. Know that. Nothing gets past Ego's army. People, everybody can eat, everybody can do their own thing. But when you come in to my house, which is boxing, and then you're spreading propaganda and lies and acting a certain way that doesn't help the sport of boxing, that's when it becomes a problem. Shout out to Kamal Oz. Bud's prickly personality and sarcasm doesn't sell. Shout out to Kamal. Bro, people are selling you a dream and the idiotic boxing fan, because they're anti-PBCs, they're anti-PBC and Al Heyman and certain fighters and stuff. They're so quick to gobble it up. Remember when Triller came to boxing, and then the same individuals, they were like, "Oh, Triller's amazing. They paid $7 million for Teofimo Cambosis. They got all the money." Where's Triller now? Please let me know where Triller is as it relates to boxing. How many Triller shows have you watched this year? Same thing with World Boxing Super Series. Fight mics in media. I guess you think this helps boxing, huh? Yeah, to tell the truth, it does help boxing. Block them. To get rid of you and to tell the truth on my channel, yeah, that does help boxing. I definitely agree. But block him. Get him out. Get him out of my face. We cannot continue this show until he out of my face. He talking about, oh, so you think this does help? Me keeping it transparent? What would you prefer? You prefer I lie and say Crawford's a big, huge star? That don't how does that further boxing by selling you a dream and lying? I'm not doing that. If that's your integrity level, then you do that on your channel. I'm not doing it over here. And the reason why this is pertinent, I've talked about it. Ego's Army has talked about it. Kamal Oz has talked about it. Here's the thing. Bud is out here making certain choices to team up with who he wants and move how he wants. Fine. So I have the right to criticize it if it doesn't benefit him. Right. So, yeah, getting the information out, I feel better. Period. So, again, well, and I haven't even we still on Crawford Madrimov. I haven't even got to some of the other content or the other angles because there's so much and it's so layered. See, this is the thing. People say, "Oh, Ego, you're being negative." Good. Don't watch my channel. Next, what else? I don't care what you're saying. You're not going to derail this train. You're not going to stop this programming. Do not watch me. Why is that? Why is that so hard? Why is it so hard for the Bud Buddies to just stay away from my channel if that's how they feel? Listen, my channel, anybody's welcome to participate. But if you talk dumb, if you're disruptive, then you probably be removed. Period. Instead of supporting Crawford and buying his pay-per-view, they'd rather come to my channel and say, "Oh man, this guy's a Bud hater," and all this goofy stuff. They never even try to retort and have an answer or prove me wrong. So that's how I know I'm winning. That's how I know I'm winning. You spend more time on Boxing Ego's page than you do Terence Crawford's page. Then you put more money in Boxing Ego pockets than you do Terence Crawford back in because you're not buying his fights. So yeah, you Bud Buddies, you might want to sort that out. Yeah, you might want to sort that out. So let's keep going. You guys said I was lying. Now we find out that they gave away tickets. So they're saying that the pay-per-views didn't sell. They sold 75 to 100,000. Y'all made excuses for that. Now this report comes out from someone different. This is not even Kevin Iole anymore. So let me get it straight. Everybody is just lying on Terence Crawford's name. And the funny thing is, the Bud Buddies, when they don't like what's being said, they'll say it's a lie, but they'll never show you any credible source that disproves that what is being reported is far from the truth. Ain't that funny? They'll just say, "Oh, you're hating, this is a lie," but they won't give you there's no report showing it's a lie. There's no evidence showing what you're saying is true. Meanwhile, I'm showing you receipts. So look at this. It says, although the live gate revenue was substantial at 8.4 million, right? We even got the commission report. Look, this is all the breakdowns, right? All the breakdowns of the numbers. All the breakdowns in the number. And it was like 8.4. And 8.4 for a live gate in general would be good. In general would be good, but not if you inject so much money into unnecessary things. Because if you're injecting money into fireworks and people walking around with signage and walking billboards, building scaffolding on the ring, getting Eminem to perform, all these types of things, that costs money. So that's going against your bottom line. So even at 8.4, this fight would be a flop because Eminem probably made more money than fighters that were on this card. How much do you think Eminem's booking fee is? To get Eminem out the house, how much do you think that cost? I want you guys to say in the comment section. But before you guess, just know I looked it up. Eminem is the number one rapper with the highest booking fee. So, how much do you think of Eminem for him to do a set at an event and rap at this point of his career when he just dropped the album and he could be spending that day on a late show or something like that promoting? How much do you think it cost Eminem? 475? No. 475 for M? No. Come on, Oz. Remember that cheesy tweet Bud made tagging Canelo about him fighting Errol Spence at a catchweight years ago, but telling Bud the fight had to be at 168? You ain't no draw like Errol Spence. Man, we got them receipts. Bro, I'm telling you, to get Marshall Mathers out, his booking fee is not in the hundreds of thousands. He's for sure for it was supposed to be a big event. He getting a meal, probably a couple mil. So again, when you add all this gimmick, this is going against your bottom line. So you guys can see, even if the fight generated 8.4 million, that would still be a flop because I don't know, like they didn't sell no pay-per-view. Just hear me out. If you didn't sell many pay-per-views, Bud Crawford got a couple mil, Eminem at least got a couple mil, and then you had Pit Bulls and Rayos and Andy Ruiz and David Morrell. You had too many names on this card. So some of those guys, let's say they're getting 500K, 750K, Pitbull might get $1 million. You know, you're just racking up a debt. You put so many people on a card, you're racking up a debt. Then you got to actually rent the BMO stadium. You got to have a camera crew. See, you guys don't understand boxing. I am boxing, so I understand this. You have all this excess promotion. So Eminem show, lighting, camera crew, rental of the venue, you know, people to assemble the ring and collapse the ring. All of this is a cost. People walking around with walking billboards, passing out flyers. Somebody got to be paying them. You know, I doubt they were all doing it for charity for a Bud show. Crawford, you know, he was making allegedly $10 million to fight Avocado, and then he made a lot of money to fight Errol Spence. So we know how much he was getting roughly around, you know, the end of his career with Top Rank. So he got a couple mil. You know what I mean? You got California taxes. Like, I live in California. Y'all not finna play me. So again, with failed pay-per-view sales and an 8.4 million gate, even if that was true, that would still be a loss. Because you have too many names on the card. That's why see, boxing fans are dumb. I'm just gonna be real. Many boxing fans are dumb. Many boxing fans, they look at like these dream cards. They'll be like, "Oh, I want Tank versus Shakur, and then Crawford versus Canelo on the same card." The reason why you don't really see that often is because of cost. That's why you don't see these stellar cards, because it's hard to make it make sense. You have to generate a certain level of pay-per-view sales. You have to have a lot of business things and endorsements and, you know, network fees or whatever to even make that make sense. You have to have the fans' investment, buying the pay-per-views, buying shirts and concessions and merchandise, and it's a whole undertaking of things you have to do right to make a profit with a big top to bottom show. And this is not like the Don King days where promoters was probably robbing the fighters. So if they was robbing the fighters, it's probably easier to do because the fighters wasn't making so much. But Floyd didn't change the whole landscape of that. So them days is over. Now these fighters is like, pay me. Jake Paul won his money. Canelo won his money. Canelo not fighting Berlanga for a million or two because at this juncture of Canelo's life, it wouldn't even make sense. Canelo has a telecommunications company. He has real estate endeavors. He has cars that are worth, a couple of his cars will be worth a couple mil or something like that. So he not taking no fight for $1 million. Now, if that's your level, then $1 million, you'll probably take it. But I'm telling you, like the big boys in boxing, they commanding bigger purses since the Floyd era. So again, this is why you see more reasonable undercards like Canelo Berlanga, Danny Garcia versus Lada, Fulton, Caleb Plant, something that's manageable and you can work with that. But when you have Pitbull, he might want a mill because he was working his way up. He came off a knockout of Colbert. He gonna want something. Um, yeah, Canelo has gas station oils. That's what I'm saying. You guys don't understand, bro. So let's keep it going. So I hope I illustrated the point of even if this fight made $8 million gate, right? That would still be a flop. But here's the thing. The Bud Buddies, I told you we doing doghouse rules. They said what I am saying is a lie and I'm a liar. I can't stand for that. You're not finna call me a liar and say I don't do my job and do it well and I'm not the best in the business and it's not even close. And then you're doing this to just because you want to be right. So I looked at the California State Athletic Commission report for Crawford Madrimov, and I noticed some, let's just say Boxing Ego audited the commission report. And funny enough, as expected, fake it till you make it, your boy Ego noticed some discrepancies with the commission report. And I would like to share them with you in this video. Shall we? Because y'all said I was lying. So I'm going to tell you what I noticed that really wasn't making sense during my audit. If y'all want me to let y'all know my findings, put heck yeah in the comment section so I could catch this body. If enough people put heck yeah in the comment section, I'll let you know some of the things that it make me wonder. I told you the Bud Buddies, get ready for the eulogy. It's over. I'm about to cook y'all. When I show y'all, I promise you it'll make sense to you. Ego accounting services. Come on, you just stay tuned. You guys are gonna want this. Bro, the level of cap in boxing and butt kissing is deplorable. It is truly despicable. You guys came in and said, "Oh, Eddie Hearn's the best promoter. Oh, Turkey, he's saved boxing." But then you got people, and I don't think they're being transparent with boxing fans. So I looked at this commission report. Let's see what I found. The discrepancy. Right off rip, I know y'all don't see it. I know y'all can't see it. We got some real problems when it comes to this commission report. So the commission report alleges Actually, let me see. Let me see if anyone else can guess it. Let me know if anyone can guess it. Hold on. Let me move the super chat. I want to see if anyone can guess it before I do, before I reveal it. What is off about this Crawford Madrimov? These are tickets sold, allegedly sold, or whatever. What is off about this commission report? No, it's not really the prices. I mean, you could charge whatever you want for your event. No, that's not. It's not the prices. I mean, the prices are expensive. That's not. That's not. That's not what the issue is, though. Because like, if it's Mayweather McGregor, you could charge 25,000 for a ticket. Who knows? So it's not the ticket prices, even though they are steep. No, it's not the very low number. No, no, you're not getting it. Hold on. So before I get into it, make sure y'all smash the like button. I'm truly boxing savior, the best in the business, and it's not even close. Let me introduce the next talking point with a true story from mine. So, as you guys know, before I was doing boxing, I like everybody, I had to make a living, so I worked regular jobs, right? One of those jobs, I was a salary manager, right? When I was a salary manager, I had people underneath me that had to report to me, right? So I'll try to make this as fast as possible. Sometimes I would have those people who were underneath me and they had reports, like inventory reports that they had to do or their team had to do. It was my job to go over and review to make sure their reporting was accurate, especially for purposes of inventory. So what would happen is at the very top in top stock, we called it, you would have like, let's say, some ceiling fans. That department, the electrical department, they would have to count how many ceiling fans are up there. So the only way to effectively do that is to get on the ladder and then see, because you can't, from being on the ground and then these beams are like 10, 12, 15 feet in the air or whatever, you can't see what's behind that. You can't see if all of the stock numbers and the item numbers match up. So you have to get on the ladder. Or we have a machine that was called a cherry picker, right? Ego to Messiah, shout out to Ruben. So oftentimes you would get people who did it right, but then there would be some times where people who were being lazy, right? They didn't want to get on a ladder, get the machinery out to do a proper count. So they did this thing that we called pencil whipping, right? When you're pencil whipping, you're just guesstimating. You're like, oh, I think these are all the same model numbers. It looks like there's three of them. You're not actually getting up there physically, putting your hands on it and doing an effective count, right? So again, sometimes people, to be lazy, they'll pencil whip and falsify the company documents rather than do it the true way and the real way. So I have experience pointing out fraud. So when I went to review, I would be like, okay, they said there was three of these and I'm counting eight. That's weird. And then I would do another random number to spot check them, right? And that tally was off. So I'm like, hold on. I'm just picking random numbers on this list, random inventory item numbers, model numbers, or whatever. And your counts are definitely off, which would lead me to audit further and look deeper into it. And then now I'm starting to find a whole bunch of discrepancies. Enter Crawford Madrimov. So right off rip, the first thing I noticed that showed me that the Crawford Madrimov commission report is cap is this. Boom. According to this commission report, they sold 180 tickets, the most expensive tickets, which that number, the most expensive, 7,500 times 180, That means they profited $1.3 million by selling that many tickets. Right? So I'm looking at this, I'm like, that don't really add up. You mean to tell me your most expensive ticket outsold any other denomination of cheaper price tickets by more than double? What do I mean? So the most expensive ticket you had, you sold 180 at almost $8,000. But then the $4,500 ticket, which would be more affordable by half the price, you only sold 92. 90, I'm not the smartest brother in the world. 90 times 2, that's 180. So that's roughly half that you sold, and the tickets were half the price. Hey, come on, bro. See, y'all thought I was just a YouTuber or something. Make that make sense. Does everybody understand the point I just made? Your most expensive tickets sold the most quantity. That is cap. I don't think that really ever happens in boxing. Like, meaning, like, because you have to understand, who can afford a $7,500 ticket for one ticket? You have to be an A-lister, Silicon Valley, a celebrity, a TikToker, a baller, a doctor. You have to have money, right? You have to have money to want to see a fight. And keep in mind, we're not talking about Mayweather Pacquiao, that's history. I don't care what nobody said, that's history, right? That's a historic fight. We're talking about for Crawford Madrimov, a guy with 11 fights that nobody even knew who he was for real, including some boxing fans that really know Crawford and know Errol, and they knew all them type of fights and Sean Porter, but they don't know no Madrimov. They never watched no Madrimov. So once again, looking at the numbers, you want me to believe that your most expensive, almost $8,000 ticket sold the most quantity and gave you a $1.3 million profit from those tickets, right? But then your lesser section 9 or this whatever section this is that cost 4,500, you only sold 92 of them bad boys. Bro, pencil whipping. I don't care what no one says, because again, if you're spending 4,500, you still probably was ringside because they were slashing prices, right? Just hear me out. This is how I caught people at my last job before I was a YouTuber, of course. Pencil whipping. Hear me out. Allegedly, you sold 180 tickets of your most expensive ticket, which not everyone could afford. But then you sold half of that in your $4,500 option. But then here's the kicker. I'm not the smartest brother in the world, but peep this logic and tell me if it makes sense to you. Who goes to boxing by themselves? Who goes to boxing events by themselves? Anybody? Does anybody go to boxing by themselves? Bro, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not letting nobody come from no other place, come to America and start selling pipe dreams and capping. Nah, we not doing that, bro. Press doesn't buy tickets though. So that's cap. Bro, I'm talking about someone who pays for a ticket. Not many people go to a boxing event by themselves dolo. So hear me out. If you have $7,500 price point tickets and you sold 180, I doubt there were onesies, because you're not gonna spend $7,500 for you and then your girl can't go. You put like you put your girl in the nosebleeds. Listen to what I'm saying. If a man bought a ticket, he would either A, go by himself, ringside, but be by himself. I don't know many men, I don't care what your value is or what you do for a living, that are going to spend $7,500 and go to an event ringside by themselves. I don't know many people doing that in America, right? So that's that. So 7,500, more than likely, you would have to go with some friends. So either your friends would have to have enough money to also buy the seat that you're buying, which is 7,500. How many of your friends right now in the chat at a given time would have $7,500 disposable liquid to go to a Crawford Madrimov card? There's people out here with no whip. That's buying somebody a used whip right there. 7,500. That's paying a good portion, a good chunk of Americans' debt. That's groceries. Like, I don't know how much y'all spend on groceries, but that's groceries for half a year or something. What are we talking about, people? And again, this is not Saudi Arabia where everybody's rich, or Dubai or something where everybody's rich. I'm telling you, this is cap. There's no way your highest price tickets sold by more than double. Like, just look at the numbers, people. Your $7,500 ticket sold 180, but then you sold the $5,000 ticket, you only sold 45. The $4,500 ticket, you only sold 92. But so many people were for Crawford Madrimov were thirsting for the most expensive ticket, right? So Turkey probably bought these tickets and then handed them out and gave them to celebrities or something, or gave them to fan or whatever he did. I don't know how he did it. Here's another. Again, I used to do numbers. I used to like verify numbers. So you guys know me in boxing, right? Here's another discrepancy, right? Your $7,500 ticket, allegedly, your most expensive ticket, you sold 180 of them. But then the price point just below it, you only sold 70 of them, right? The difference is very marginal. It's $500. So who is going to buy a $7,000 ticket to get this type of seat if they got it and not spend the extra $500? Because obviously, if you have 7,000 for Crawford versus Madrimov, what's $500 to you, right? So why is it this big variance from two ticket prices that are separated by $500? Just think about this stuff, people. If a person has $7,000 that they can spend and then not be affected, like their money is situated, why wouldn't they spend an extra 500 and get the front row seats? Y'all be capping. I'm trying to tell you, this is cap. So what would likely happen is Turkey bought the tickets or gave the tickets away. Somebody, they probably bought them or resell. I don't know what they did, but these numbers don't add up. These numbers don't add up. If you look at real commission reports, there's rarely a time, if ever, where the most expensive price point sold and outsold the cheaper price points by more than double. Because some people, like let's say 4,500, you only sold 92 $4,500 tickets, but I'm not the smartest brother in the world. 4 plus 4 is 8, 500, 500,000. So that's $9,000 for two tickets. So if you could spend 4,500 or you're balling or whatever, you can get two really good tickets at the $4,500 price, and you get two tickets for 9,000, or one ticket for 7,500. Bro, this money is not this is not looking copacetic, bro. Who's gonna? So 180 people were just balling out of control, and they can afford $7,500 tickets. I mean, let's ask this: Have you or anyone you know that's a real boxing fan ever paid $7,500 for one ticket to a show? Do not lie. Please do not lie. I'm just asking y'all to tell the truth. Once again, I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. Have you or anyone you know that likes boxing ever went to anybody's show, Canelo, Floyd, and they spent 7,500 just not on a hotel suite and VIP and all. They spent $7,500 on one ticket. Anybody that you know or yourself. Bro, you're not gonna sell me no lies. I don't care what none of y'all talking about, bro. This is not adding up. And then to top it off, the undercard was good, but the main event was Crawford Madrimov. The main event was Crawford Madrimov, which is the fight that no one really was asking for. Again, let me further break this down. For a fight card like this, the pay-per-view is roughly $75. For one ticket to see it live is $7,500, right? That's 100 times more than just buying the pay-per-view. That's 75 times 100 is 7,500. So you can buy 100. Bro, come on. I told y'all get destroyed. You could buy $175 pay-per-views for the amount that it would cost for one of those $7,500 tickets. So you could buy your whole apartment complex roughly. You could buy pay-per-views for your whole complex. 75 times 100 is definitely 7,500. So you could literally buy. So, you're like, all right, Crawford Madrimov, I want to see it. Buy it for $75. It wasn't like a must. I have to be there. Here's history. They didn't do a good job of building it up. There was no tension. Nobody got pushed. Nobody was slapping each other. Nobody would, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't like these cliffhanger moments in the buildup, if you will. None. Like Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, they went on a multiple city, including Canada. They went to a multiple city press conference and were selling they went to the UK, Canada, New York, LA. It's like a four city press tour. And on top of that, Conor can sell, Conor can talk. He was in his prime at the time, beat Eddie Alvarez and Jose Aldo. Floyd obviously is a great salesman. Crawford and Madrimov were staring at each other. Bro, these are some lies. I don't care what none of y'all talking about. These are lies. These are lies. Talking about they sold 180. So I knew something was off about that. But it gets worse. Where's Kamal Oz? But wait, there's more. It's about to get bloody. It's about to get ugly. This is what happens when you try to make Crawford into a star that he is not. Now it's about to get bloody. My wife divorced me after I took her to a Shakur fight. Hey, come on, bro. You cap it. That's kind of funny though. Bro. Bro, the Bud Buddy's about to get cooked. And here's the thing. This how I know y'all liars. We're in the election year. Election is in a few months. We're in the election year. People complaining about like the prices of like fast food and people complaining about how much meat Chipotle is giving them, complaining about grocery store prices, but then they got $7,500 to go sit ringside at Crawford Madrimov. I'm telling you what happened, bro. They pencil whip these numbers, guaranteed. Jameson, my guy, I see you. Shout out to the A. Bro, they pencil whip these numbers. Either the promotion bought tickets because they didn't want to look dumb for having the fight in a soccer stadium or whatever, but there's no way these numbers are accurate. And even if they were, it's still a bust. It's still a bust. It's still a bust. Let me keep going though. I'm about to body y'all. Y'all said Crawford's a megastar. Y'all said the fight was sold out. I'm a body y'all. So I had already looked at the numbers and I'm like, this is not jiving. Something is up. They they must have lost a lot of money and gave away a lot of tickets. Then because it just wasn't making sense. You sold 180 you sold 180 tickets at the 7,500 price point, but then you only sold 70 tickets at the $7,000 price point. Again, if you have 7,000, what's another $500 to get the best seat in the house? If you have a 7,000 liquid to just throw away for one ticket for Crawford versus Madrimov main event, bro, this whole thing is cap, and I knew it was cap. And then guess what happened? It got worse for y'all. I don't know why they chose an outdoor stadium without air conditioning. Should have been indoors. Because this is what happens when you have people who are not from here in America. They don't know the landscape of America. They have money and they think they're going to spend a bunch of money and force the narrative. It does not work like that. Maybe in the 90s, you could have done that, but not with social media. There's free entertainment. You have to contend with piracy and illegal streams. You got certain fighters that people just naturally gravitate and resonate with more. So a promoter doesn't hold the power that they once did to just simply push a narrative and tell the public who's the star. You got YouTube channels like me who keep it real and other content creators and stuff who, give their opinions. So it's not, we're in different times. The promoter, before there was no social media. And I understood this. That's why I started a boxing channel and pioneered boxing news in the digital space. There weren't people doing this, ego Weight Watchers and all that, breaking down the fights and updating you and news clippings, and it wasn't being done like that. There are either people who were at the fights or at best maybe giving some fight predictions on YouTube, things like that. But I'm talking about, I turned this into a whole business for me. I got out of 9 to 5 work covering boxing when I came from nowhere and I wasn't covering boxing and I was working regular menial jobs that I didn't prefer. I changed the game. Desmond, what's up? But it got worse. If y'all ready for the body bag, just type the word body. I'm gonna keep bodying you. Bro, it's about to get whole. I'm not even done. Like, I ain't notice one buddy ain't interrupted me. Where's all that? Oh, you hating on Bud stuff? Where are they? Where are they now? Please let me know. Because when I said the same stuff that I'm saying now, y'all said I was hating. But then when it's being reported and I keep being proven right, then they just disappear and wait for me to hopefully be wrong on something else. I'm a body y'all, bro. I'm a body y'all. So let's keep going. So I knew something was up with the numbers and the reporting. It was pencil whipped. I could tell. If you're in boxing, you could tell. Then this came out. So Paul Magno, the one that wrote this article, he said, editor's note. Hold on, where's Kamal? Bro, is Kamal Oz still in here? I need Kamal to hear this. I don't know what he's doing. Kamal, are you in here in the chat? So I want Kamal to see this dead body that I give y'all. They hate you when you're ahead of the curve. whatever. They're gonna keep hating. I'm gonna keep being right, keep making this money, and they can keep hating. Enjoy. So Kamal, he's not here now. All right, we got to keep moving. We got to keep moving. Oh man, I wanted Kamal to see this. I'll tell him about it. Okay, so after this article was already went to print and published, the editor, the writer, author, Paul Magno says, editor's note. It says after posting this piece, his website, boxingnews.co, was contacted by a licensed boxing promoter who chooses to remain anonymous to clarify the commission report. He informed that there's no guarantee how many of those 17,799 tickets that were listed as, quote, sold were actually purchased by the promotion and given away as comps. Hold on. Are you dumb? Listen, are you dumb? Why would you ever go against Boxing Ego? Are you dumb? Please let me know. Are you dumb? Why would you go against me when I'm the dawn of this boxing talk? Bro, he just did an update. I knew the numbers didn't sound right. I was like, nah, come on, bro. Something's up with them numbers. That sound cap. How you sell all these tickets and then he come out with this. After posting this piece, a licensed boxing reporter told him that there's no guarantee how many of those 17,000 plus tickets were actually sold versus purchased by the promotion and given away as comps. The 4,000 seats listed as exempt were merely those printed and turned in without being used, meaning the promotion literally couldn't even give away all of the tickets. Per the source, they didn't do an 8.5 million gate. Oh, stop playing with me. It's me, man. Bro, I told you I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. Do not ever go against me ever again. You can listen to them liars and them other content creators pitching whatever. I always show you. So let's break down what this editor's note says. This editor's note is saying that now we have no way to understand and know how many tickets the promotion bought themselves and gave away. I'm good, man. Hold on. Damn, I'm good. And it says the 4,000 seats that were listed as exempt or unsold, that's because they couldn't give away enough tickets. So if they actually cared about not lying, this fight might have only sold. I mean, there's no telling. There's no way to tell now because of what they did. Hey, bro, it's over. So not only did they not sell 4,000 tickets confirmed, out of the 17,000, that's not even a real number because a portion of those were definitely purchased by the promoter and then given out as free. And then people, when they go through, it looks like they were paying customers, but they really got gifted the ticket. Man, come on, bro. Bro, this is a sham. And y'all was talking about, oh, Turkey, he saved boxing. Bro, this is dishonest, nasty work. What are y'all talking about? This is nasty work. So you don't want that real number. Remember when I told you, I was like, y'all better pray that live gate don't come out? They got scared. So what they did is the promoter purchased the tickets themselves or redeemed them some kind of way, gifted them and gave some of the tickets out. And then when the people go through, it counts as a ticket sold. But now we have no way because they jumble. Like, what if you were trying to run a successful business? Why would you even want that? Why would you like Top Rank or PBC? Why would they want it all confused and convoluted and not know how many people actually paid versus how many people got gifted tickets for free? You didn't want the public to see because you knew because you're in California. This ain't you didn't take this fight to Nevada or something where they might hide the commission report. You chose California and you knew that commission report was going to come out and y'all was going to look bad. So you found a like almost like a loophole to try to save face because you blended in you blended in actual paying customers with comp tickets, but you did it in a sneaky way. Man, come on, bro. And, and you said that Crawford he said this is not my opinion. Terence Crawford said it's the Terence Crawford era. Sheik or whatever, Turkey, he said that Crawford is a legend and a megastar. Ain't no megastar. You don't have to do all this. You're a megastar, but you have to give away a gang of tickets to try to fake the funk and make it look and have Eminem perform and have a star. Bro, this is a failure. The fact that you have to do this shows me that it is a failure. You think Taylor Swift has to give away 1,000 tickets, 4,000 or whatever number of tickets to her shows to try to make it look lit? Like you might get a Groupon here or there, like to sell some like individual sections or whatever. This is not. And here's the other issue. This is how you know they capping. Now because they went about it in this roundabout way, the commission report shows that they had an $8.5 million gate. Now we don't know what their real gate actually is because they blended in real paying customers versus comp tickets in a sneaky fashion. But according to this editor's note, their licensed boxing promoter, who remained anonymous, is saying it didn't actually do an $8.5 million gate. Yeah, some star. Yeah, Bud's an American star. Good job. I told you I was about to body y'all. So the paperwork says it's an $8.5 million gate. It ain't no $8.5 million gate if you mixed in fraudulent tickets that people didn't actually buy. So most reporters, or actually not reporters, most promotions, like let's say Tank Roley, PBC, they'll comp, let's say 1,200 tickets, 849. Those people got comp tickets, celebrities or whatever, 849. So with this, you're saying 7,799 tickets sold, but you had Kate Beckinsdale, you had Jeremy Piven, you had whoever, Wiz Khalifa, you had all these people, and you probably gave them ringside tickets that had actual ticket numbers and seat arrangements and blah, blah, blah. And now it's classified on this commission report with the California State Athletic Commission, which just leaked. And now it looks like they paid, but behind the scenes, that they did. Kate Beckinsdale didn't pay for a ticket or whoever. Man, stop. So they want you to believe that Crawford is a star. They want you to believe that Boxing Ego is a hater, but everything I've been saying has been confirmed. So who's the hater now? I told you, don't ever play with me. They want to play with me and act like my reporting style is biased and I'm a Bud hater. I don't hate the man, but I'm not going to lie for him either, especially after he disrespected. Why would I lie? You're not a star, my guy. It is what it is. You're a great fighter. You could be a great fighter that can't sell. There's many of them. You won't be the first, won't be the last. B Dog. So basically, the commission report came out, and the organizers, Eddie Hearn, Turkey, or whoever, they did some backdoor loophole weird stuff. And basically, the report says 17,799 tickets were sold. But apparently, according to the author, they blended in comp tickets in assigned seats with those. So now we don't know what the true live gate is. Like when they make a fight, they get the seating arrangement and they scale it around of like how much is scaled for this size gate. But the way they went about it is some roundabout stuff. Bro, these people are inept, period. You spent so, and then here's the other thing. Terence Crawford said this fight was bigger than Errol Spence. Do you think Al Heyman and PBC did all of this to try to get people to go to Errol Spence versus Crawford? Bro, it shows me that bad business Bud, he does not understand the business of boxing as much as he thinks he does, because you were so enamored with the fact that Turkey was wasting his money buying flyers and walking billboards, and your name was on skyscrapers and decals and painted stairs and passing out flyers. None of that stuff. Who cares? Because see, and the reason we're talking about Bob Arum, we're talking about Top Rank, Golden Boy, we're talking about PBC. The reason why they're not doing, because they don't have disposable money that they want to burn. It's a business, they're trying to make profit. That's how any business is typically going to work. You want to make a profit, which is what I've always said. So yeah, now it looks bad because now we don't even know Crawford's true, like, it essentially Turkey could have gave away, like it says it sold 17,799 tickets. And because they did this roundabout stuff with the comp tickets to make them look as sold or whatever, he could have gave away 10,000 tickets. So that means Crawford's crowd is truly 7,799, but now we'll never know because they intentionally convoluted, instead of separating the two categories like a normal boxing show. Bro, this is cap. I don't care what no, and y'all condone this. Y'all say, "Oh, Bud don't need PBC. He don't need PBC. Don't work like this." I've covered many a PBC show. They don't work like this. They don't have to lie to you. Has anyone noticed that PBC, when they have a show, they really, like, I'm talking about PBC, like their social media, people that work at PBC, they don't say anything. They just drop it on you. Oh, Tim Tszyu's next fight. Oh, Caleb Plant's gonna be on the Canelo card. Oh, whoa, that's it. There's no preamble. There's no, like, they don't even really have a spokesperson who's in front of the camera all the time, like Eddie Hearn or something. Like Eddie Hearn legit said this was the biggest fight in American history. Boy, you cap. You got to go back to Great Britain with them lies, because we don't believe you. This man, Eddie Hearn, said this was the biggest card that America has ever seen. If that was in fact the case, if it was the biggest boxing card and all that, you wouldn't have to do all this to sell it. You wouldn't have to comp so many tickets. You wouldn't be losing so much money. You wouldn't do all this backdoor stuff. Do you honestly think that any business that makes sense, like, let's say, this is extreme, but let's say Floyd versus Conor McGregor, do you honestly think that they needed to do all of this to sell tickets? People were sold the minute they were talking trash at the press conferences. He's like, why are you wearing a backpack? You can read. Fight sold just off that. And it's funny because when I say these things, y'all say, "Oh, ego, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that's false. Oh, Crawford's a star. You're hating." But here's the reality of it. People are complaining about PBC. People are complaining about Canelo versus Berlanga, but I guarantee you, Canelo versus Berlanga, especially the way they both have been selling the fight, it makes more business sense, that partnership. Therefore, it'll make more money. You dig? So basically, Canelo can give you a fight that you don't even want, or the public is saying they don't want, and he still does better business, and he don't have to have no fake Eminem concerts and fake ads everywhere and this loaded undercard. He don't have to have all that. Case in point. So this is Canelo in 2016. Y'all some bums. Bro, y'all are real life bums. You will never be on my level. I'm not talking to Ego's Army. I'm talking, you know who I'm talking to. I'm talking about the bums, the people that be on my channel hating. Y'all some bums. You will never get anywhere hating like you do. Canelo in two. So now we know that this fake commission report with these fake numbers, because they gave away tickets and included them in the sold category. We know that it really, because if you had to do it, then the 8.5 is cap, because that's, no one does that. So the fact that you had to do that shows me that the 8.5 million is not a true number, period. So I don't know what the true number is, because they purposely confused it with the ticket fiasco, ticket gate, right? But I do know in 2016, without all this fakery, a fight that I covered, Canelo versus Amir Khan, that did 7.4 million in ticket sales. So even if the commission report was true of Crawford Madrimov doing 8.4 million, and I've already expressed why I don't believe it to be true, but even if it were, you're doing within a million of what Canelo did with no undercard. I'm not no undercard, but not a loaded undercard like Crawford had in 2016 in a mismatch with Amir Khan that nobody really even wanted to see. And you didn't have to pay Eminem because they didn't have a mini concert. So Canelo was with Golden Boy. I covered that fight. The weigh-in was crazy. It was crazy for that Canelo Khan. And then I'm showing you it did a 7.5 million gate, right? So Canelo's throwaway fights are legitimate business. Here's another throwaway fight. Canelo fought Sergey Kovalev, another fight people didn't ask for. Canelo Kovalev sold 10,000 tickets and made 8.1 million. And UFC had the BMF fight on the same night in New York. So he was competing with the UFC again. He's about to in September. And he did an 8 million gate. So even if the Crawford Madrimov number was true, which we know it's not, even if it were true, it's still a failure, because Canelo's old throwaway fights with Kovalev and Khan are doing really better. But since I can't give you an actual number because of what the promoters did to try to bamboozle the public, we'll just say similar, because I don't have an actual number because of what they did. But even at best, what it is said on the commission report, Bud doing an $8 million gate is still a failure, because none of these Canelo shows had Pitbull versus Rayo, Jared Anderson, Bacoli, David Morrell, and all these Andy Ruiz. He didn't have that type of lineup, and he's still doing those crazy gates. Gervonta Davis is doing real gates with, he don't have this star-studded undercard like that. And I told you it's going to be real important to see where they put Crawford's next fight. If it's not in the soccer stadium again, it'll further prove my point. See, that's what happens when you lie. If you lie, there's only so long you could keep a lie going. Like if I told y'all that I'm a billionaire, there's going to be a time where I can't keep this front going that I'm a billionaire, because I'm not going to have enough money to keep spending like this to try to keep the front going. I'm telling you. And I can't wait. Tell me I don't know boxing. And it goes back to what I've always said, bad business bud. When you teamed up with PBC and Al Heyman, a black man from Cleveland, and Steven Espinoza, Mexican American, I think you're from New York. When you teamed up with them, you made the most money you made, and you had the best win of your career and the most notoriety for that win in Errol Spence on Showtime, and did the best pay-per-view numbers you've done. Crawford keeps moving away from working with PBC again because he's bad business bud, and he wants to work with everybody else. You know, if you white, he want to work with you. You know, Eddie Hearn, he'll do business with him. You know, he'll do business with Bob Arum. He's a Jewish man from New York, Harvard graduate. He'll work with Turkey. He wanted to work with Kinahan. You know what I mean? So he's willing to work with all these other people. And then the actual fight that had your name ringing bells, the most that it's ever rang, was Errol Spence on PBC. And then you're moving away from that. I don't need PBC, blah, blah, blah. And then again, when he fought on PBC with Al Heyman and Steven Espinoza, et cetera, they didn't have to do all this to sell the fight. They didn't have fireworks and, flamethrowers and people walking around with billboards and flyers and signage doing backflips and scaffolding and outdoor soccer stadium, Eminem concerts. They didn't do any of that. And here's the thing. I can't confirm this because I don't know what Bud and Eminem had going on, but it sounded like when I heard the story, it sounded like when Crawford had Eminem walk him out for the fight with Spence, it sounded like that was off love. He said he took a shot in the dark, needle in the haystack, reached out to Eminem in the DM, or in Eminem DM'd him back. So you probably didn't have to pay Eminem whatever you had to pay him to do an actual concert because it sounded like he just did it for the love because he messed with Crawford. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about expenditures. We're talking about expenses. Anybody that runs a business knows you have to keep your expenses down. If you have a restaurant and let's say you have a Mexican taqueria, right? You got to buy napkins, silverware, the little plastic containers for salsas, to-go bags. You got to buy the meat, the cheese. You know what I mean? It adds up. So you might want to buy paper plates in bulk. You might want to buy bulk bags or get with one of those companies that have like Uline or something where you can buy this stuff in bulk, or go to Sam's Club or Costco so you can get napkins in bulk because it'll save you. You see what I'm saying? So that's business. I know business. People, oh, you're just a YouTuber. I know business. I don't care what none of y'all talking about. I know business. And anybody's business, I don't care what they tell you, unless it's a nonprofit, and even some of those are kind of sketch, is the bottom dollar is the bottom line, period. I cannot be a YouTuber if I don't get paid, period. If YouTube right now said, hey, we're not paying no YouTubers anymore, then I wouldn't be doing this, period. So I don't care what, oh, Turkey has money to throw away and money to burn. He might have a lot of money, but ain't nobody long term trying to lose money and not make a dent in whatever. Like some people are willing to invest and spend money on certain things, but they don't want to just keep losing it. Come on, bro. Only a sellout can have a billionaire backing him and still flop. He don't resonate with the people. It is what it is. And here's the thing: Crawford think I don't want to do an interview with Boxing Ego or whatever. He don't want to deal with media. Don't deal with me. That's fine. But good luck advertising your fight. Dealing with Boxing Ego represents more for your brand in a positive than a negative. Even if we don't agree on things, it's still Boxing Ego. Crawford want to interview with like Corey Feldman and random people. Like, good luck. And then you wonder why the Madrimov fight flops. You did nothing to promote it. Madrimov not really comfortable in the English language. You guys just stared at each other. There was no tension. It was a okay fight, solid fight, tactical fight, You know what I mean? Whatever. That's what I'm saying. Bad business bud, bro. You like Canelo is worth more than you. He's more of a known name, and he's at least selling the fight with Berlanga. We didn't even ask for that fight for real. But he's at least like he's at least making something of it. He's going on Sway's Universe. He's going on The Breakfast Club. He's going on Gilly and Wallow. You advertise his fight every day with your hater shows. That's what's up. Block him. So he need better advertise. He needs somebody else to advertise then, because his hater shows ain't selling. So that was stupid, bro. He need more than that then. And it's funny because they say it's a hater show, but they can't prove me wrong, so we good. Is as long as you can't prove me wrong, I'm great. Shout out to Lewis, 4,500. I've lost so much money with Crawford, I could have bought a house in Beverly Hills. That's what I'm saying. And when Bob Arum said it, you said he was capped. Bob Arum looking like the golden child. He looking like a prophet. And it was always a dumb play for Turkey because, again, I don't care how much money you have. Ain't nobody want to just keep losing their wealth. Who I mean, name anybody that just want they Warren Buffett or somebody, Bezos. They just want their wealth to just disintegrate. Like I don't want it anymore. Come on, bro. And like, who want to go from eating at Michelin star restaurants to cup of noodles? Ain't nobody want that, especially if you've experienced that life. Because if that was the case, then go to prison. Go to prison, make a lot of money, and then lose your freedom and go to prison so you don't have none of it. If you want to lose your wealth, go to prison. That's the best place to do it. So yeah, Boxing Ego said it. Anybody that want to lose money and lose all their wealth, the quickest way to do that is do something dumb enough to land yourself in prison, and that's the quickest way you can lose your wealth. Because it's hard to do tours from prison. It's hard to make YouTube videos from prison. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, go to prison if you want to lose your wealth. Bro, this is an abomination, and y'all don't even see the play. I got so many more videos. Y'all gonna keep calling me the hater. Yeah, I'm good with that. Whatever. If I could keep telling the truth, and then the worst you could do is call me a hater, as long as you don't call me a liar, I'm good. Because that's just emotion. If I'm telling you and showing you everything I'm saying with receipts, and then the best you could say is, "Oh, you're a hater, Ego." All right, I'll take it. What that mean? As long as the truth is out, I'm good. I don't care what y'all talking about. Shout out to Kyle. He said, regardless of how much money you have, 10 million is a steep L. Eye candy, I seen that. I'm gonna post about it on my social. I can't wait. I'm about to be right. Y'all better unsubscribe. If you a hater, you better unsubscribe. It's about to get ugly for you. It's about to get ugly. I ain't seen no Bill Haney interview, to be honest. So I don't know. I don't know what you have to catch up with that. The other thing is this. Bad business bud. Mark my words. You ran over to Turkey. He injected a lot of money and all the steps to try to make you pop. Gave you a loaded undercard, all that. Eminem show to try to piggyback off of linking with Eminem that people liked when it was on PBC, but hated when it was on Riyadh season, right? So he gave you he gave you everything to succeed, and you still flopped. You still flopped. So here's the other issue. And you guys got to, if you like the content, please subscribe, share the videos, all that good stuff. The other major issue is this. Shout out to my man, Alan Dawson, great reporter. He has a brand new article and it's talking about Tim Tszyu's next 3 fights. I don't think y'all heard me, bro. The article is a roadmap or an outline for Tim Tszyu's next 3 fights, right? The first of which is what I told you, Bakram Murtazayev, who is the IBF champion at 154 pounds. So you guys are idiots. You're not, listen, and when I'm saying these, I'm not talking to regular boxing fans. You know who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to Ego's Army. I'm talking about those who keep hating on my page and saying, oh, Ego a hater and he the Bud hater. Those idiots. You guys are idiots because you don't see the play. And I'm so many steps ahead of you, and it's going to keep showing, and I'm going to keep being right, and y'all just got to live with that. But here's the play. So they're talking about possibly Florida, Tim Tszyu, and Bakram Murtazayev. So what does that mean? Murtazayev just got a stoppage win over Jack Cookout at 154 pounds, became the IBF champion. Tim Tszyu happens to be ranked or whatever, and the fight, I believe, got ordered, and they're finalizing that fight, possibly for Florida. So here's the thing. Tim Tszyu is back into a title contention, title shot effort. So all he has to do is win, which in the matchup, I would favor Tim Tszyu. I like Tim Tszyu, and I think he wins there. So if Tim Tszyu comes through that fight, he's the IBF champion at 154 pounds. They're talking about, and they've been talking about, Tim Tszyu versus Erickson Lubin, PBC guys. So you got Turkey, who just said he don't want to. He said, I will not work with Tim Tszyu. Did he not? Turkey said, I will not work with Tim Tszyu. Okay. So guess what? PBC keeps it moving. Tim Tszyu's likely to fight who I told you he was going to fight, Bakram Murtazayev. If he wins, the options are clear. Possibly Errol Spence Fundora winner, Erickson Lubin fight. Guys like, Brian Castano would be an option. These are all guys that have been with the PBC brand. Or you can do a Fundora rematch, right? So Tim Tszyu has options. Who is Crawford going to fight if he doesn't fight Tim Tszyu, who Turkey said he doesn't want to work with? That's what I'm saying. You guys are so idiotic. You can't see the play. I see the play. I see the vision. So in essence, Crawford, bad business bud, is in the same exact position. He's in the same position that he was with Top Rank. He's in the same position that he was in with Top Rank. Moved up in weight from being undisputed, and then you follow it up with the title fight against kind of like not a big name. At 47, it was Jeff Horn. At 54, it was Madrimov, right? But unlike the Jeff Horn fight, the Madrimov fight, some people even thought you lost. So that didn't really elevate Crawford's standing. If anything, that kind of reined it back in. So now you got Crawford, who is a champion. Who's he going to fight at 54? Just ask yourself these questions. Who is Terence Crawford going to fight at 154? Because rumor has it, Tim Tszyu, title shot, Murtazayev. You have Errol Spence, rumor has it, versus Sebastian Fundora. Title fight. What is Crawford going to do? Turkey just said no Tim Tszyu, and Turkey said no Canelo. He's done trying to reason with them. They don't understand. So Crawford's not going to get the Canelo fight. Not getting Tim Tszyu fight, who might become a champion. And then Errol Spence will likely get the Fundora fight. Who is Crawford going to fight at 154? Same problem as when you were with Top Rank. Same exact thing, bro. And then what makes matters worse is Turkey before Virgil Ortiz fight with Boachuk. He says he was behind the scenes. He went to Virgil's locker room before the fight. He said, "I want you to fight Crawford." Ortiz doesn't look as good as advertised or good as expected. Now no one even wants to see Virgil Ortiz versus Crawford coming off the Boachuk fight where he was dropped 2 times. He was dropped 2 times. It was dropped 2 times. You dig? And then now Turkey's saying he wants to see, he thinks the fight was a draw. He wants to see Boachuk versus Virgil Ortiz. And then, like, just be real. What you know about Oscar, he doesn't have that many stars left with Golden Boy. Is he really going to put Virgil Ortiz in there with Crawford when Crawford still looks capable and he's just smarter than Virgil Ortiz, and Virgil getting dropped by Boachuk, who's been stopped before? So I really don't see the Virgil Ortiz, whether you make it or don't make it, it's not a big fight now, coming off of that Boachuk fight. So again, what is Crawford going to do? He's going to sit on the shelf, or he's going to take David Avanesian style fights that no one cares about, possibly a Madrimov rematch that the first fight wasn't even scintillating. Who is he going to fight? Meanwhile, you guys is like Turkey saved boxing. The best fight that I could see that's really accessible, that makes a lot of sense, is Boots versus Bud, but Bud's team said it doesn't make sense for them. You see how this works? You see how this works? I see the play already. And what these guys are doing are clout chasing PBC number, or clout chasing PBC fighters. And then when they don't get them, they'll be like, "Oh, I have to fight this other guy." But that doesn't excuse the in-house fights that you could make, some of which are pretty good fights, not happening. You can't blame PBC for Boots and Bud not fighting because neither guy is with PBC. So now you guys understand bad business Bud. You ran to Turkey because he's willing to, like, overpay and, like, not keep it real with you in terms of that, instead of what makes more sense, which is continue doing business and build from the Errol Spence fight, continue doing business with Al Heyman and PBC. So, bro, guys are getting found out quick. Boots and Bud is the most realistic fight. It's a great fight. Eddie Hearns wants to fight. Boots said he wants to fight, but Crawford's team, you can't get him to comply. Crawford keeps talking about Canelo. That stuff is looking dead. Nobody really even wants it after the Madrimov fight, especially at 68. Canelo said he's not going down for Crawford. And why would he? He's the A side. So Canelo. So what are Crawford's options for real? For real. Canelo's looking dead on arrival. Turkey said he didn't want to work with Tszyu. Errol Spence rematch didn't happen, and he's likely to fight Fundora. So what is Crawford going to just sit on the sidelines and then wait? He's about to be 37 in a couple weeks, in a month. So what is he going to do? So I'm trying to tell you how this play. And here's the thing. Eddie Hearn did an interview, said that Shakur's in negotiations with Joe Cordina. Bye. I'm done. All you butt kissers in the sport of boxing, this is what y'all said y'all wanted. You said, "Oh, Turkey reviving boxing. Eddie Hearn, he's the best promoter." Okay. So Shakur, Joe Cordina. Ain't nobody asked for that fight. Here's the thing. Joe Cordina, I know y'all don't even know who that is. I know that you don't even know who that is. Most of you. Here's the other thing about it. Joe Cordina is coming off of stoppage loss. He just fought at 130 and got stopped. His very last fight this year. So if y'all are clowns, bro. Let me get this straight. Shakur's off of 2 back-to-back performances that were less than satisfying. Shakur Stevenson in the Edwin De Los Santos on the Thursday fight got ridiculed. People said he was a runner. He said his hand was hurt, his stomach hurt, whatever. People didn't like the performance from either, especially Shakur being the star. He vows to come back against a guy coming off of a loss, Artem Harutyunyan, who lost to Frank Martin. They do nothing to sell the fight. And then in his own hometown, people are leaving Newark, New Jersey venue early because the fight was boring or whatever. So he just fought Artem Harutyunyan off of nearly a knockout because Frank Martin almost knocked him out in them later rounds. But definitely off a loss. And then now he's going to fight possibly Joe Cordina, who's definitely coming off of a loss by knockout earlier this year. This is what's saving boxing. Y'all are clowns, bro. Because it doesn't take, I know I'm the kid with the golden voice, but why should I have to outline something that's so obvious? Why do I have to outline it for you like that? For you to see it. All the information is right there. Who on earth wants to see Shakur versus Joe Cordina? Take that to the UK. I definitely don't think that where do you okay? Here's the thing. Let's be real. If Shakur fought Artem at home with Top Rank and people were leaving the fight, where do you even put a fight with Joe Cordina off of a stoppage loss? He's moving up in weight where he's not established anything and he's coming off a knockout loss. Where do you even put that? And these are the guys you said are saving boxing. Shakur versus Joe Cordina. You just became a free agent. What about Tank? I thought you wanted to fight Tank. Take whatever he's offering and fight him. Devin's over there with DAZN or free agent or whatever he's doing. We can't get Shakur versus Devin. We can't even get, you said your hand was messed up. We can't get Shakur versus Edwin De Los Santos. That's a much better fight, a rematch, and see who can pull away than Joe Cordina coming off of a knockout loss. Bro, I'm telling you, it's the same. Kenya B said, put it in the trash. Absolutely. Trash fight. And I'm just the only one with a pair to tell you guys all this stuff that's real. Bro, I told you, I'm the GOAT in boxing. Deal with it. I got more bad news. More bad news for you bums. I'm sick of you bums. Bro, I told you, I'm about to body y'all. So, Eddie Hearn has confirmed that Jaron Boots Ennis may fight that Karen dude again. The mandatory just got ordered because apparently the IBF rankings has the Karen dude. They have the Karen dude ranked or whatever. So here's the thing. Who in the wants to see Boots in a rematch with a guy he already beat that was a miserable fight? Who wants to see Boots versus Karen? I'd rather see Boots versus Villa again, and I don't even want to see that fight. But I'd rather see that because at least the dude was tough with some power. I don't want to see. People were saying Karen ran and he was like evasive. It was just an ugly fight. Ain't nobody want to see that. But again, when boxing egos say these things, when Boots, the day the information came out that Boots was signing to Eddie Hearn in rematch room, I gave my honest opinion, like I always do, and I said, I don't think that was the right move for Boots. Who does Eddie Hearn have? What can Eddie Hearn provide Boots in this, right? This is what I said. And people are like, oh, you're just being negative, ego. Oh, Eddie Hearn's going to keep him active. And I said, who cares about activity if it's none of the fights you want to see? And you got to peep the play. Eddie Hearn put out another interview where he's saying we sent an offer to Mario Barrios. So let me tell you, I've been in the game very long time. Let me tell you how this works. Boots is not fighting Mario Barrios. That is merely put out there as a decoy. So Team Ennis or Eddie Hearn or whoever can now say that, oh, we sent Barrios an invitation to fight and he turned it down. So we got to fight Karen. Book it. Igor Stradamus will strike again. Book it. Mario Barrios has options with PBC. He was already rumored to fight Pacquiao later this year. He's not fighting Boots. Why would PBC? I would be surprised if that happened. Why would PBC he's a champion now. He just had a baby or is about to have a baby or something, right? Why would he fight Boots? So again, this is a decoy. This is what DAZN and Riyadh season always do. Let's clout chase a PBC fighter and then take a menial fight that nobody actually wants, and then we'll just blame PBC for it. Notice a pattern, right? Top Rank did this. They ran this play too. They'd be like, oh, Pacquiao has to fight Josh Clottey because Floyd doesn't want to fight him. Oh, Pacquiao's fighting Tim Bradley and Jesse Vargas and Chris Algieri. Blame Floyd. Floyd Mayweather did it. And we've seen it several times. Demetrius Andre, when he was with DAZN, Eddie Hearn would be like, oh, we wanted Charlo, but we couldn't get Charlo. So now we get these horrific fights for Andre on DAZN. Horrific. Lucas Keeler and potato peelers and all horrible fights. And if Shakur signs with Eddie Hearn in Riyadh season or whatever, and they make this Joe Cordina fight, give me my credit and book this. Clout chase Tank, talk about Lomachenko, don't fight either, and then fight a guy coming off a knockout, coming up in weight, coming off of a loss in Joe Cordina, possibly in the UK, and then what? And then again, because you guys are anti-PBC, anti the black man, Al Heyman, you guys praise this level of matchmaking like this is impressive. Oh man, Turkey saved boxing. But then fights that make more noise, we're not getting. Why doesn't Turkey cash out Edwin De Los Santos and do a rematch with Shakur? That is a much better fight than Joe Cordina, who's never fought at lightweight. Shakur is on his third or so fight in lightweight, and no one even knows who Cordina is. But they're going to gas you up and say that, oh, you know, Cordina and Shakur, he always wanted to fight in the UK. It'd be massive. All right. And again, I ask you, what happened to building an American star? So basically, Shakur, he keep getting clowned at his own fights, and like people saying it's boring, people leaving early. So you just take him out the country. Bro, y'all some clowns. It's real clown work in boxing. Y'all, if you ever act like Boxing Ego don't know what he's talking about, like you can't see this stuff on outline, y'all some clowns, bro. Bro, you know Shakur is not a draw. You're going to overpay him to take him out of America and have him fight in the UK or in Saudi Arabia. Enjoy. Good luck. Boots. If I had to take a guess, they're going to say, oh, we offer Barrios, but Barrios didn't want to do it, right? And then they'll fight the mandatory that no one wants to see that fight again, Karen Chutney or whatever his name is, and then they'll probably just milk Philly. They'll just put the onus on Philly. Be like, hey, this your hometown guy, show up for Boots versus Karen. And if that's what happens, that's going to hurt Boots because that Karen dude got a style that is just like, it just kind of made Boots look bad. He made Boots look bad because it was just like Boots is normally an action guy, and then he was evasive. It's just an ugly, sloppy style. Like it's just certain styles don't mesh well. They don't like gel well together. So it's just funny to see y'all give credit where you want to give credit, and then they complain like, "Oh man, Turkey's doing it." Like honestly, I'm not even. This is not no joke or nothing. What if Boots fights Karen and Shakur fights Joe Cordina and Crawford fights God knows who, like Madrimov too? Is that a good fight? That's what y'all wanted to see. No, I'm being serious. Is that like that's what y'all wanted? Like, name a Riyadh season fight that was your number one pick in that division. Name three. Name three fights that would have been like one of your top picks that Riyadh season has had that has already happened that we've gotten from Riyadh season. Something that you would have picked as like one of your number one or number two fight in that division. Can y'all hear me? I'm gonna say it again. Name a fight that was associated with Riyadh season that was a top two fight that's happened already. That was a top two fight that you personally wanted to see. So Crawford Madrimov, that's the best fight at 154 that you wanted to see. That's what I'm asking you. Is Crawford Madrimov a top number one or top two fights at 54 that you would have picked yourself if you were the matchmaker for Crawford to fight? Not Jermell Charlo, not Boots, not Fundora or something or Tim Tszyu. You would have picked Madrimov. They haven't gave anything I personally wanted to see. Shout out to my boy from Stockton, 209. Okay, Pitbull versus Ryo. The fight really didn't deliver. Ryo did his thing. Pitbull looked horrible. That wasn't my number one pick. I wanted to see Pitbull and Ryan Garcia. I wanted to see Pitbull versus Shakur. It wasn't Ryo. That wasn't the Ryo had never even fought at 140. I mean, he did his thing, but what I'm saying is I wasn't even thinking about Pitbull Ryo. Pitbull just became a champion at 140. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. In Pitbull doing that fight, he messed up his motion because when he was with PBC fighting Tank, Gamboa, and fighting everybody but the Giovanni or the whatever the dude, Cabrera dude, right? Every other fight, like the Rolly fight, that did more positive for him. Pitbull looked horrible and it set him back. So being on the Riyadh season card actually hurt Pitbull because of that matchup. Me, I would have El Rayo was supposed to fight Edwin De Los Santos in a rematch. I would have preferred that at 35, and I would have preferred Pitbull versus Ryan Garcia or Pitbull versus Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So that wasn't a top fight. I'm telling you, Bacoli and Jared Anderson turned out to be a good fight, but nobody was really thinking of that fight. Nobody was like, "Oh, this is the must." People wanted to see Jared Anderson versus Wilder, but he got knocked out. You see what I'm saying? So it's like people are glazing and saying that the Riyadh season reinvented the game, but I have yet to see a top two matchup that I actually want to see. For example, let's say Ego is the matchmaker. I'll give you a couple. Boots is with DAZN. Virgil Ortiz is with DAZN. I would rather see, instead of Crawford fighting Virgil Ortiz, give me Boots versus Virgil Ortiz. That's a fight that I've been wanting to see. But again, they're both with the same like people, but I can't get that. I didn't the Boachuk fight was good, but that's not what I wanted to see more than I want to see. I think a bigger fight would be Boots and Virgil Ortiz because people have been talking about it for years. So that's one example. Devin Haney versus Subriel Matias or something. That would be a good fight. We're not getting that. right? Um, what I'm just using only like the zone type of roster and telling you like matchups that I want to say. Crawford versus Bud, of course, I've already went over that. So Crawford, y'all are praising Riyadh season, but we didn't get Crawford boots. We didn't get boots Virgil Ortiz. We didn't get. They might get Shakur, like, and you're talking about Joe Cordona. Man, there's so many other fights I would rather see over Shakur. I'd rather see Shakur fight Edwin De Los Santos again. Rather see Shakur fight Ryo, anybody, rather than Joe Cordina. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding what y'all saying. Hey, Block Tone Loke, you tried it. So I like for me, I gotta see more. I gotta see because I don't see all this the legendary stuff y'all talking about. Like as if we getting the matchups that we've been craving. You know the matchup. We're not get where's Canelo versus Benavidez? That like that's a matchup that people have been clamoring for, if you will. We ain't seen nothing like that. Shakur, Jermaine Ortiz. Yeah, that's a way better fight. See, that's what I'm saying. It's all cap. That's a way better fight than Joe Cordina. You know what I mean? So yeah, holla at me when we get to some matchups that I actually want to see. If you made up money and all this stuff, like there's I can think of a million matchups that I think are better than what we've received that everyone's so praising so much. Like for example, David Morrell versus Edgar Berlanga. I think that would have been a great fight. You had Morrell on the card before Canelo snatched him. You could have did something like that. So that's what I'm noticing in boxing with especially with the Riyadh season is a lot of the matchups are glorified, like over glorified. Like Wilder versus Zhang. I mean, coming off a Parker loss, why? Why would you, if you had ambitions to put Wilder in there? See, that's what I'm saying. People are treating this like their toy. They're treating fighters like they're toys over there, and I don't understand that. If Wilder would already lost to Joseph Parker, and you truly wanted him to get to Andy or not Andy, you wanted Wilder to get to Anthony Joshua, or you wanted Wilder to get to Jared Anderson, why would you put him in there with Zhang? It's just such a weird fight. And to be honest, like Riyadh season, why didn't they pay? Like, why didn't if they never made Wilder versus Zhang and he put Andy Ruiz in there with Wilder? I think that would have been better because that's another fight that I did want to see for a period of time. Basically, two former champions fighting each other. But now, after Wilder got knocked out, and then Ruiz didn't look great versus Gerald Miller, mm, or even Wilder versus Gerald Miller, that would have been good because these there's backstories there. Miller said this about Wilder and blah blah blah. That's what I'm saying. Let me do the matchmaking. And here's the thing: what I've noticed too is like Turkey is more in the spotlight than ever, and he's saying certain fights that he wants, but then they don't happen. Has anyone else noticed that? Like, let me give you an example. Boots beat David Avocado. Turkey called him on FaceTime and said he wants to make the Crawford match. And then Boots is like, yeah, all right, send the contract. And then now they're talking about we want Crawford versus Virgil Ortiz. I thought you said you wanted to make Crawford versus Boots after Boots won. You said I told Eddie, let's make the Crawford fight. That's what I'm not understanding this. Then you have Shakur Stevenson, Turkey said, I want to work with Shakur, and I wanted him to fight Golden Boy William Zepeda on the same card, with Terence Crawford. That's what he said, right? Turkey said on the night of Virgil Ortiz and Sergey Boachuk, he says, I want Crawford, Virgil Ortiz, and Shakur versus Zepeda. Basically, Crawford and his little bro versus Golden Boy. Now they saying they want Boachuk Virgil Ortiz rematch. Turkey said that. And now they're talking about Shakur versus Joe Cordina. So it's like, what are we talking about? And see, and that's the big problem. This is not a group project. You don't have to tell people what you plan to make, because when you don't make it, it comes back. It's like spitting in the wind. You lean out the window and the wind's blowing and you spit and then it wrap around in your face. That's what happens when you keep talking. That's because Boots decided to go for Undisputed. That's dumb though. Okay, so Boots. First of all, let's be real. Welterweight division is trash right now. That's just what it is. Welterweight is normally a stacked division. This is the lightest that the welterweight division has been in many moons, because every recent era you had like Crawford and Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, and Jerron was on his way up, and you had Sean Porter, Danny Garcia at a time. You had hitters. So the whole, whatever you said, Boots versus Undisputed, first of all, that's trash, because who are the other people for him to fight? Second of all, that's trash because you have no rights and no dibs on the other people that have belts, and it's not likely that those fights will come across. Like, why would PBC give Mario Barrios to Boots when he's a champion, and then they can make Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios on their own? They can make Mario Barrios versus Stanionis on their own network. You guys are idiotic. And then you got to fight like, so Jared Anderson could work with Riyadh Season to fight Bacoli, a fight that really made no sense. That was such a huge leap up in competition for Jared Anderson, but they worked with Top Rank to make that, and then Anderson gets slaughtered. But then why not work with Top Rank, give Brian Norman a bag, and then make Jerron Boots Ennis? Doesn't a unification take precedence over a mandatory? But that's what I'm saying. We're not getting Brian Norman versus Jerron Ennis. I would much rather see than Jerron Ennis versus Karen Part 2. So you guys talking about stay at 147 for what? Yeah, we get it. You want to be undisputed, but it's like dry. It's too dry. Who wants to see half of these matchups? And then the ones that are, I guess, sellable, you probably don't have no options on them for real. Like, again, why would Barrios fight on Riyadh Season when he could fight Pacquiao on PBC? He could fight Stanionis on PBC. Fight Brian Norman. He a top ranked guy. They might not have no one to match him with. He got elevated. Pretty much Boots got elevated. But that's what I'm saying. We're not getting none of those. We're not getting those style of fights. We're getting, PBC, they didn't want smoke with Jerron Ennis, so we had to fight our mandatory Karen. Watch the play. Just watch the space. But you could have reached out, offered game-changing money to Brian Norman, work with Top Rank again, and put on a better fight. And it's a unification, which would trump a mandatory type of situation. Or if Boots is willing to take a risk and fight at 54, fight Virgil Ortiz, fight Crawford. These are all better fights. So the reason we gotta stick to our words is you have people coming in like Eddie Hearn in Turkey, and they saying, "Oh, we want to make boxing great again. Oh, he's only looking for the best fights. Oh, Canelo's a PUSSY, and he only looking for safe fights." Okay, so if you're gonna say that about Canelo Alvarez, by fighting Berlanga, who's bigger than him and younger than him, and was at one point considered a knockout artist. If you're gonna say Canelo's looking for the easy fights, who'd want to see Shakur versus Joe Cordina and Boots versus Karen, whatever his name is, in a rematch? That's what I'm saying. This is an agenda. It's not jiving. What you're telling me is not adding up. You dragged Canelo saying he only want the easy fights, but then the fights I'm hearing that they're thinking about making, like Shakur Cordina coming off a loss, moving up in weight, is trash. And I don't care what none of y'all say. Canelo versus Berlanga, stylistically, build up is better than Shakur versus effing Joe Cordina. Stop it. I don't care how, because at least I know there's a good chance somebody get knocked out in the Canelo Berlanga. Tell me I'm lying. Somebody getting hurt or at least knocked out. Shakur versus Cordina, you already know. There's a chance that no one gets knocked out. There's a chance that no one get knocked down. It is going to be some British banter versus Shakur, who's not like an elite trash talker. Man, stop. Ennis versus Barrios, Stanionis versus Norman, winners fight. But you just made that up. Like, why, bro? This is what's wrong with boxing. You guys, I could do this all day and just like, okay, that's like me saying this is what boxing fans do. They'll be like, a Wendy's cheeseburger with McDonald's fries. Bro, these are two separate companies. What the are y'all talking about? So you think you can go to all fast food restaurants and then just take certain things off of their menu item and then take certain things off and then like they gonna work together? Like it's not really what happened. Oh, I want a Five Guys burger with McDonald's fries because I don't like the Five Guy fries. What are y'all talking about? When does that ever happen? Bro, if you go to Five Guys, you better eat you some peanuts, eat the fries they got, and shut the up. Period. Y'all talking about all this team up stuff like it's a group project. Oh, Ennis versus Barrios and Staniotis versus Norman. Bro, we're talking about different promotions, different. Why? Okay, so if you are a business and you are cross promotion is happening now, bro. No, it ain't. What? Because it happened in a fight or two? That's always been the case. Edislandi Lara fought Vanes Martirosyan, and they had one was with PBC, one was with Top Rank. You don't know what you're talking about. There's always been some level of cross promotion for whatever reason, but I'm saying on ongoing business trend is not mixing and matching promoters. Oh my gosh, this man is a zombie. This can't be real. There were cross promotional fights on the card we just watched. Bro, boxing, oh my gosh. I don't know if this man is remedial or what's going on. I'm trying to explain how the business of boxing works. Cross promotional fights have always existed in boxing. Mayweather versus Pacquiao. That was an example of a cross promotional, one guy with HBO, one guy with Showtime. I know more in boxing than you do. I've been covering this sport longer than you have. So, with that being said, I understand that at times cross promotional fights happen. It's not even my argument. What I am saying is if you're your own business, you worry about your own business first. And if it makes sense, then you are maybe willing to offer up your fighter. Like, hey, they're going to give Pitbull and Ryo a bag to be on this DAZN card. We can't match that. So we'll just let them fight over there. And then people can order the pay-per-view on Amazon. See how that works? But the point I'm making is it has to make sense for really both parties involved, or at the very least, the party that has the most leverage. You making up two separate cross promotions. Brian Norman is a good fighter. He's not big enough to even make that. So you don't know about boxing, bro. Why would PBC work with a guy like Brian Norman and do a cross promotion where you got to split the profits for a fight that's not really even going to generate a lot of money right now? And they have other options where it can be in-house that will probably generate more money, if not the same money, and still give great opportunities and looks to their fighter. You don't know about boxing. The reason Mayweather and Pacquiao cross promotion happened is because they would be leaving so much money on the table where everybody could have ate, and it would have been dumb to leave that type of money on the table. That's when you get big, like Ryan Garcia in a fight with Tank. That's another cross promotion because it represented money. So that did over 1 million pay-per-view buys. So yeah, you would be losing money not making it happen. Or Canelo's working with PBC and his last two opponents have been DAZN fighters. That's because Canelo don't want to fight Benavidez, and then he's willing to work with some of these other guys and PBC's okaying these opponents. That's why you're getting that. So it has to be beneficial to both parties. You are making my point. I ain't making nothing you said. Bro, your point is stupid. You said that they should do Ennis versus Mario Barrios and Stanionis versus Brian Norman. So Stanionis is unknown and Brian Norman is roughly unknown outside of diehard boxing fans. So that is not making your point because that's a stupid point. Why would you make that fight when you could just circumvent that and make Barrios versus Stanionis and you both work with PBC? You don't know about boxing, like I said. It's like cooking a meal. If you have all the ingredients that you need to make a dinner, why do you stop at the grocery store? Why are you going to leave to go to the grocery store if you have everything you need to completely make the meal top to bottom? You don't. Like, I have certain meals right now. I got all the seasoning. I got the ground beef. I got lettuce. I got tomatoes. I got cheese. I don't need to leave and go to the store like this idiotic you saying when I have all the ingredients to make the burger. You telling me that Top Rank should work with this and this person should work with this. You don't have to do that when you have great fights you can make in-house. We've seen it with Errol Spence. Errol Spence and Crawford came last because there were great in-house fights for Errol Spence to fight on PBC. Sean Porter, money fight with Mikey Garcia, Ugas, et cetera, et cetera. You really don't know boxing. It's okay. Keep watching Boxing Ego. You talking about Brian Norman Stanionis. What does that fight do? What type of viewership is that going to do since you know so much? How many people have been asking for that fight? And then you talking about, oh, these two people fight and then the winners fight. Okay, on what network? You just made your own tournament involving like 3-4 promoters. Bro, this guy is sped ed. What is wrong with him? So what 147 pounders does Top Rank have? Bro, I don't give a, why are you asking me like I'm work for Top Rank? Hey, Block, get him out of here, bro. I can't. I don't even want to see your name anymore, bro. He talking about what like like I work for Top Rank, bro. That's their problem. They got to figure that out, what his next move is. Why are you asking me? He said, so what 147 pounders does Top Rank have? That's their fault if they not deep in the division. That got to do with me. Shout out to Kenya B. I had to get him out. My bad, y'all. He ruining the whole vibes of this. He's like, oh, so who's he going to fight on Top Rank? That's for them to figure out. I don't get paid to figure that out. Yeah, he going to ask me who he need to fight. That's why you have a promotional team. They figure that out. See, this is the idiotic comments that y'all leave. PBC got depth in certain divisions, and because they can make fights in house, whereas other people need the rope and they need the handout and they need the B side or they need the A side, and then when they don't get it, then y'all start crying. But PBC branded the guys that they branded and did the business that they did to make whoever a star. So they don't have to look out for the next guy that they're in competition with and provide them with viable options. Notice you said the Riyadh season fight had cross promotion. It did. But do you notice the PBC fight, which was on paper one of the bigger fights on the card? Notice that was PBC versus PBC. That was smart of them. I already told you. They made Ryo versus Pitbull. So it didn't matter if Pitbull won or Ryo won, the winner was coming back to PBC. You see how that worked out for Top Rank? Top Rank had a guy they were building as the next American great prospect in the heavyweight division. He was doing good on Top Rank, and then he got on the bigger stage and then fought somebody in a step up, and then he got cooked. So now Top Rank got to worry about rebuilding him. You see? So that didn't really, none of the A sides really benefited from being on that Crawford Madrimov card. None of them. They'd all their stocks dropped, or at best stayed the same. Pitbull's stock got hurt, how he looked versus Ryo. Crawford's stock, people were saying he looked human, so his stock didn't really grow. Jared Anderson, A side, he put Bacoli on the map. You see what I'm saying? Y'all don't know boxing for real, and y'all definitely don't get the business of boxing. You'll see, because I'm gonna keep being right, and y'all gonna keep seeing. Y'all told Jaron Ennis to sign with Eddie Hearn, earn with Hearn, and Hearn's gonna keep him active, but at what cost? Keep him active, and then the welterweight division sucks right now. It's super dry, and then he can't manage to make the big fights. So then he's gonna milk Philly and then put Boots in there with undesirable outs like Karen rematch. So yeah, he's getting overpaid and he's active, but it's also not doing anything for Boots in terms of legacy and building a hype around him. How can you not see that? Let me ask you, do you want to see Boots versus the Karen guy rematch? Yes or no? Kyle said absolutely not. Okay, then. What about Connor Ben? He's third place in the IBF. Yeah, but Karen is ranked over him. And if Karen wants to rematch, then they're going to say that and then probably make the Karen fight. Dana Johnson came super late. He came super late and then trying to correct me. Yeah, all right. We already went over that. Hey, just block them. You how you gonna come late and then say some cap stuff? We already cleared that. We already been. I don't even have to waste no time on that. Why? You better hit rewind before you say something. Karen is not the mandatory though. You know what's funny? You know what's funny that I do this for a living and I'm excellent and I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. And then you have people who try to correct me and they think that I'm wrong. It's so funny. I find it remarkable. Like, if you guys know so much, why aren't you doing this? Like, I literally got out of full-time work for myself, talking boxing. Legit. So if you guys know so much, I'm so concerned as to why you guys are not doing this. If you know my job better than me, then you should be making money. You should be making money in here. You should be, you know my job better than me. IBF orders Jaron Ennis versus Karen rematch. You know my job better than me. You should be making some money here. But it's clear to me that you don't. Do you guys see that? The IBF orders Jaron Ennis Karen rematch. He's not the mandatory. Then why did they order it, Poindexter? Bro, I'm still undefeated. And still undefeated. Talking about ego don't know his job. Stop playing with me. So yeah, y'all told that's probably recent. No, don't try to, bro. Don't try to change what you said now. He said that's probably recent. You said, and I'll put it on the screen, Karen is not a mandatory though. You tried to correct me. You were wrong. And now you're talking about that's probably recent. I didn't say it wasn't recent. I gave the news and you tried to correct me and you were wrong. And as a man, instead of just admitting that my knowledge of this game is superior, now you're trying to double back and say, oh, that was recent. Oh, just admit you were wrong, bro. Like they just mandated that fight. I was going off what I seen last week. These people are idiots, bro. Instead of just admitting you were wrong. So that's like me saying, oh, I should have brought my jacket, but I was looking at the weather in San Francisco from last week. Bro, why would you look at the weather report from last week and then dress in accordance to what the weather report last week said? Oh, it said it was going to be hot, but that was last Thursday, so I ain't bring a jacket. You said I was wrong, and now you're trying to back off the block. I said it was going to be sunny. You said it was going to rain. And you're like, oh, I looked at the weather last week. Bro, these dudes is bums. I told you I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. Bums. Chad Van Scoor said, man, I've been gone for 2 months. Come back, and people still hating and don't know is shaking my head. Ego, tell them. Man, I've been gone. I ain't been doing no live streams. But see, y'all now y'all see why. Because you got dudes trying to correct me, and then they don't even be right. I'm out. Appreciate y'all. I got more heat coming. The Bud Buddies, stay tuned. I know y'all watching. I know the Bud Buddies be watching. Yeah, keep watching. We coming. Death Row East.